Hi everyone, today's video is going to be an update on some of the goals that I set earlier in the year. I think it was around February, and this video is in collaboration with Caroline, Mrs. M. We got together back in February and decided to do a year's worth of goals. So we set some goals back in February, and the idea was that we updated you every 2 months on how we were getting on with those goals. So I think this is about maybe the third video we've done. So we set the goals around a few different areas. I've just got my notepad here to remind myself. There was around work and learning, health, family and social, travel and leisure, finance and budget, and home and personal. And I've been working my way through bits of it as the year's gone on. I've done some things, haven't done some other things. I think I've updated you on a couple of things that I managed to get done, but I thought I would focus specifically on one thing this time, and that was the health goal. So the health goal was that I'm type 2 diabetic. I'm about probably 6 or 7 stone overweight, and I've been type 2 diabetic for about 14 years, and I've never really gotten it under control. And I did a video recently on about how I was struggling with my weight and how I've yo-yo dieted for the last 40 years. So if you haven't seen that, I will link it at the end if you want to go and have a look, because it's kind of a follow-on from that video. So to get my diabetes under control, I get my blood tests done sometimes once a year, sometimes twice a year. I just had it done recently, and they want to do it again in 3 months because it had gone up. And what they test is the HbA1c. So they test to see how much glucose is in your bloodstream. It's an average taken over the last 8 weeks. I'm not sure how they do it. It's quite clever. So to get that under control, it's quite basic. I need to eat a balanced diet, I need to exercise, and I need to lose weight. That sounds so simple, doesn't it? It really does, but it's not. For anybody who is type 2 diabetic, or for anybody like me who has yo-yo dieted all their life, that is not an easy thing to do. So if you did watch that video about the weight struggle and the weight loss, you'll know that I wanted to try Mounjaro, but I wasn't able to get it. There was quite a few people in the comments that, oh, go back to your doctors, you don't do this, do that. But I thought I would try something different. And what I did was I Googled what will give me the same effects of Mounjaro without taking Mounjaro. So the Mounjaro is supposedly, it switches the food noises off, and that's what I wanted. So I came across, when I Googled this, I came across something called Slimpod. And I was a little bit skeptical because it's not a diet. There is no eating plan on it. They don't tell you what to eat. It's not a diet. So I was a little bit skeptical. But I decided to go with it, and I did the 10-day free trial. I will put the links to it in the description box below in case you want to go over and have a look. I must say, I'm not a medical person. This is my experience of it. If you've got any concerns about your own health, you need to go and see your doctor. These are just my experiences of what I've been doing. So the Slimpod is, I'm just going to read it from here, what I've written down, what it says on the website. It's a 12-week program of coaching videos and audio recordings, which are called pods. It says it uses neuroscience to retrain your brain to form healthy habits around food, which means you don't need willpower. You use the pods, and like Mounjaro, I'm assuming, I've never taken Mounjaro, it turns off the food noises. That was the premise. That's what it's supposed to do. And like I say, I was a little bit skeptical. It's not giving us any medication. It's not giving us a way of eating. It was just, you get weekly videos. There's maybe 5 or 6 videos a week you get. And they all concentrate on different things. So the things they concentrate on are things like creating healthy habits, taking the emotion out of eating, I have been an emotional eater. I eat when I'm stressed. I eat when I'm bored. I eat when I'm sad. I eat when I'm happy. And I binge eat, but not to the extent that I gorge myself till I'm sick. When I say I binge eat, if I'm bored, I'll get a pack of crisps, then 6 packets of crisps, it'll be gone. Or I might have a bowl of cereal, then some toast. This is on a night time while watching the telly. That's what I mean by binge eating. The videos talk about what healthy eating actually looks like, which you think sounds simple, but to somebody who has yo-yo dieted for 40 years, I don't think I've ever eaten healthy. I've either been on a restricted diet that's telling us what to eat, or I've tossed the diet out the window and eaten what I want, ate junk food and stuffed my face, and the weight's gone back on if I did lose any. The videos talk to you about how to leave diet head behind. So, there's no falling off the wagon because you're not on a wagon. There is no wagon. So there's that. It talks about hunger and portion control. It talks all about how sugar can hijack stuff. It talks about developing a positive body image. There's lots of coaching videos within the Slimpod, as it's called, to listen to on a weekly basis that I have found very helpful. And within Slimpod, there is also something called pods. Now, the pods are maybe 6-minute audio recordings, and they're all from a guy called Trevor Sylvester, who I think he does hypnotherapy in his day job, but this is just a 6-minute audio, which I guess is a little bit like hypnotherapy. But you listen to the Slimpod. The first one is called the Slimpod, and this is just generally talking about having a better attitude to how you're eating. It basically talks about eat less, move more, choose better. And this Slimpod you listen to every night. I listen to it every night before I go to sleep. And when I first started listening to it, I've been doing this is my 7th week. When I first listened to it, the first few nights, I tried to listen to it. And he actually says at the beginning of the audio, it doesn't matter if you fall asleep. It doesn't matter if your mind wanders, because actually I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your unconscious. And I'll share with you shortly how this has affected us. So most of the time, I'm asleep before it's even played 1 minute of this recording. But apparently that doesn't matter. There's also another pod called the Chill Pod, which I put on a loop with the Slimpod, so they both play one after the other on a nighttime. I never get to hear the Chill Pod unless I listen to it through the day occasionally. It's supposed to help if you've got stressful feelings and things like that. So when I'm going to sleep, it's the Slimpod, then the Chill Pod, and I'm asleep when they're on. And then during, I think it's week 7, you get 2 other pods, which are the Sugar Pod and the Fit Pod, which are supposedly, again, just 6-minute audios that you listen to. You don't really need to listen to them. It's your subconscious it's talking to. And they're supposed to help you with sugar cravings, and they're supposed to help you actually want to get up and exercise. I haven't listened to either of those yet. Sandra does say, Sandra is the woman, I think she's called Sandra Roycroft Davies. She's the woman who has developed this Slimpod thing. I think she's a psychotherapist or behavioural something. I can't remember exactly. But she says if you don't feel that you need the Sugar Pod, then don't listen to it, because it can have a little bit of an adverse effect. So I haven't listened to it because I don't feel I need to at the moment. So those are the things. There's weekly videos. There is the pods. There's no set diet to follow. There's no wagon. You can't fall off it. There's no calorie counting, no sins, nothing. And one of the things that was actually said in one of the videos that I watched was, we don't need to be taught how to diet. We need to be taught how to eat healthy. And that is so true. I know how to diet. It works while I'm on it. Doesn't work when I come off it. Having a diet and being on a diet are completely different things. Everybody has a diet. It's just what you eat. It's your daily your daily food. But being on a diet kind of gives you the impression that there is a beginning and an end to it. So you start the diet and you end the diet when you have fell off the wagon or you've lost the weight. But of course, once you finish the diet, you would just go back to the way you normally ate. Most people would anyway. Again, I'm not medical. This is only my experience. So is it working? Is it working? The answer to that is yes, it is. This is week 7. Now, I wasn't sure this was going to work at all. And it wasn't until around, I think, week 2 that something kind of started to happen. It kind of clicked with us that it wasn't really about losing weight. My problems aren't really about losing weight. I know I can lose weight. I've done it before. So it's not about losing weight. For me, it is about eating healthy, eating normally, like people who had never been on a diet before would eat. And that is what I was gobsmacked that it has actually done that for me. I'm not thinking about it in weight loss. I'm thinking about how to eat healthily. Because I'm type 2 diabetic, carbs are bad for me. Carbs raise my blood sugar, which is bad. Bad for everybody really, but bad specifically for type 2 diabetics. So I knew I had to cut down on carbs. But what has happened is I'm not snacking. I haven't snacked in between meals from around, I'd say week 3, maybe week 4. And it suddenly occurred to us, I'm not eating while I'm watching TV on a night time. I would always do that. As soon as I sat down on the settee to watch the telly, I would want to eat. I would eat crisps, I would eat chocolate, get takeaways, anything. I just needed to eat as I was watching the TV. I've stopped doing that. I haven't done that for about, I'd say 4 weeks now. I'm eating smaller portions. I don't think I'm eating smaller portions consciously. I'm leaving food on my plate. I'm putting less on my plate. And I'm choosing to eat more healthily. So I have said this before. I'd quite happily have a bowl of cereal for my tea. I'd get wrong for it off Warren and the kids. What are you having a bowl of cereal for, Mum? It's just what I did. Now I'll put some pictures in here of the food I've been eating. I'm eating like salmon and stir fry. I'm eating like salad bowls. I'm choosing better. And that is the mantra that I've got from the Slimpod. Eat less, move more, choose better. It is as simple as that. But to get that into my head, I think I needed the pod that I listen to every night, which I think has drummed that into us without me even realising it, because I'm now doing it without thinking about it. That's not to say I'm not having things that are maybe not so healthy. We went away for the weekend recently. I had fish and chips. I had a scone. We went out for an Indian meal. I had a couple of alcoholic drinks. I'm just eating like a normal person would eat. So if I'd been on a diet, previously, if I'd gone on that weekend, I would have thought, oh, I can't eat this, I can't eat that. And then if I did eat what I ate, I'd be thinking, oh, well, that's it. I've buggered it up now. I might as well give up and just get back on the chocolate and the crisps. I didn't do that. I just thought, well, that's what I want to eat at the time. I picked smaller portions. I went for the healthier choices when I went for the Indian meal. And I felt better for it. But when I got home, I didn't think to myself, oh, I've buggered it up. I just started to eat normally again, like I would at home. Whether maybe I've had breakfast, maybe I didn't. That's another thing that's happened. I don't always have breakfast as soon as I get up. Maybe 9, 10 o'clock by the time I have something to eat, because I don't feel hungry and I don't feel like I want to eat. Sometimes I forget I don't want food. So I also had a nice cream with a churro in it, but I didn't feel guilty. I wasn't counting the calories. That's what it was. That's what I had. I've also found that I'm drinking less coffee. And when I am drinking a cup of coffee, I'm actually enjoying it more. Now, I had an auntie that once said to me, a cup of coffee, well, it was tea actually, a cup of tea was too wet without a biscuit. And I knew what she meant. And it suddenly, in the last few weeks, it suddenly started to occur to me, did I want the cup of coffee or did I want the biscuit? And I think it was the biscuit, and I associated drinking coffee with eating biscuits. And I've been known to eat at least half a packet of biscuits as I'm drinking a cup of coffee. But now that I don't want the biscuits, or I may want like a few almonds or an apple, that doesn't really go with coffee. So I'm having less coffee and I'm enjoying the coffee that I am having more. So that's another thing. And I'm realising this video is maybe a little bit rambly, but I'm just trying to tell you what my feelings are about what's happened to me in the last 7 weeks. So I'm also walking again. I have walked on and off over the last year, but hadn't been anything regular, and we have started walking regular again, and I'm walking longer distances. And I've usually, when I've gone to the park to walk, I've avoided the hills in the park. I've kept to the flat bits, but now I'm doing the hills and I'm doing them twice. And I've got so much energy. I don't know what to do with it sometimes. It's weird. Even Warren's saying to us, I don't know who you are, what's happened? And because I'm doing this, because I'm not snacking on a night, eating crap, neither is he. And he is also feeling better for it. I'm not sure how I would cope if I had something really stressful occur. I have felt a little bit in the last couple of weeks. I have had a couple of occasions where I've felt not stressed, but I've felt a little bit anxious about a few things. But I haven't reached for the bar of chocolate, and I have got chocolate in my fridge. The grandkids came last weekend and I'd bought some of those little chocolate lollies with Halloween things on them. And I think there was 10. And there's 6 still in the fridge, and they've been there for over a week now, and I haven't even looked at them, haven't even thought about eating them. Whereas before, those chocolate lollies would have been eaten, I would have eaten them. I haven't wanted them. So I know that I can cope with it if I have anything stressful come up. But like I say, anything really stressful, I'm not sure what I would do. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So as it is all about eating healthier, and I have never really eaten healthy, I've kind of struggled a little bit with what to eat. I know that sounds daft because it's like, well, just eat what you normally eat. But I would eat big plates of mainly carbs, and I'm trying to lessen the amount of carbs that I have because of the blood sugar. So it has been a little bit more difficult. So I'm looking through recipe books. I'm looking for maybe different ways of having things that I would normally eat. So if I would normally eat chili and rice and baked potato, because I would have chili, rice and baked potato in the past. Now I'm having chili with a bit of couscous, or chili with maybe a small baked potato. And at the moment that's working for us, but I do need to, I hate cooking, as you might know. I don't like cooking, but I do need to learn how to cook some different things. I've been looking at some YouTube channels. Pick Up Limes has some fantastic recipes on there. I'm not vegan like she is, but I don't eat meat, I do eat fish. So her meals are, really healthy and ideal for me, and I can adapt them around the carbs. So while I'm not on a diet, I am eating healthy, which means I'm choosing healthier foods. So my life diet is changing in itself, if that makes sense. So have I lost weight? Yes, I have. I've lost 6 pound. This is week 7, so I've lost 6 pound. And to me, I've lost that 6 pound without even trying. I haven't felt that I'm cutting anything out, because like I said, if I've been in a situation and I've wanted something, then I've had it. I haven't felt restricted. I haven't felt like I'm hungry. And And I think it's all to do with, because I'm eating healthy, I'm understanding the signals my brain's giving us when I'm not hungry anymore. You know, stop eating when you're full, and adapting to a new mindset, because it's definitely given us a new mindset. I don't know how. I don't know how it works. It just, for me, as of this moment, it has worked. I know there is some people it doesn't work for, and some people it takes longer for that, whatever it is, to click with you, to realise this is what it's about. So I can't really tell you what it's about, apart from what I've already said. It's something that you have to kind of listen and find out for yourself what it is for you that you know, makes things right for the way you eat. So I've lost £6, which I'm really happy with. I'm happy to continue on doing this, listening to Trevor every night. I haven't listened to the sugar pod yet, like I said, because I don't feel the craving for sweet stuff anymore. I think I've had maybe one piece of chocolate in 4 weeks. I haven't had any crisps. I haven't had a piece of cake. I think I had a scone. So I'm not craving sweet stuff, so I'm going to leave that where it is. Exercise, I don't feel like I need to listen to that at the moment either, because I do feel very energetic. I was in the shower yesterday and I was listening to some music in the shower, and I actually found myself dancing around to the music while I was in the shower. I don't do that. That's not heard of. So yeah, I don't feel like I need the Fit Pod at the moment either. But I will continue with what I'm doing, and hopefully it will continue to work. So if anybody, I've watched videos recently, people talking about the Monjaro thing, the price is going up, people are worrying about it. This might be something that would benefit you. I know there are people on Slimpod who are also on Monjaro or are also going to Slimming World. They feel like it gives them the backup. If that works for you, that works for you. Personally, I don't want the restriction of counting calories or sins or being told what to eat. I don't want that. So, but for you, it could be different, and that's fine. So maybe this is something that would work if you are no longer able to continue taking Monjaro, or like me, you can't get Monjaro. But personally, it is working for me, and I will continue with it. So that is my goals catch up for this bi-monthly video, every 2 months, bi-monthly, I think. I hope you found it interesting. Don't forget to go across and watch Caroline, Mrs. M's video to see what goal updates she's got, because all her goals are different to mine. And I like to watch them. I like to see what people have set themselves to do and whether they're actually achieving them. There's so many that I haven't achieved. I mean, just out of interest, if you're still with us, just out of interest, the home and personal goals are set. Create a cosy guest room. I haven't done that yet. That will be coming soon. Update the bathroom. That was never going to be a short-term project. That is something that is still there, but I haven't got to it. I did update my garden, so that was good. I haven't finished my death file yet. I really must get onto that. So maybe on the next update of this, I will go through what I've done with that. The finance and budget ones, I'm still continuing with the cash stuff and envelopes. I've found that a really brilliant way to kind of grow my emergency fund and my Christmas fund. That's been really good for us. The travel and leisure, I've definitely been going away more, been having days out, been going away for, short weekends. We haven't had a big holiday anywhere this year, just weekends away. Not thinking about going abroad at the moment. So yeah, I did go metal detecting with Warren, which was one of the goals that I set. Family and social, have seen the family a lot more. actually going to be going on a camping trip with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law at the end of September. So looking forward to that. So I feel like setting the goals for myself has made us kind of do things more. I've been checking them regularly and saying, what can I do to push these on? And I feel that has really helped. If you didn't see the first one where I talked about all the goals I was setting, I'll put it in, I'll put a link in at the end if you want to go and have a look. But that is it for today. Slimpod is working for me. I've lost £6, so I'm happy. So I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you found it interesting, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.